Jap. Okay, go. Jap. Okay, dah live tau.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum and selamat petang kepada semua. Nama saya Ashraf daripada Malaysia Arts Council. So hari ini kita tahu bersempena lah PKP kali kedua ni. So mostly kita semuanya work from home, stay at home, and also kita punya klien, community kita semua pun agak terhad untuk pergi ke klinik, buat test apa semua kan. So dari situ kita orang ada inisiatif untuk membawa servis ini kepada online. So kita mulakan dengan memperkenalkan kita punya ahli-ahli gabungan Majlis AIDS Malaysia. And hari ini kita jadualkan dengan Klass, organisasi Klass. Dan hari ini kita ada representatif dari Klass, Rafi, ada Azham dan lain-lain. So hari ini kita jemput Rafi untuk memberitahu ataupun memperkenalkan organisasi yang dia represent hari ini, dari segi introduction pasal organisasi tu, structure dia, team member dia siapa, kat mana nak community reach out kepada mereka. So saya jemput Rafi untuk mulakan sesi perkongsian kita pada petang ini. Silakan.
Thank you Acap.
Alright.
Hai semua, Assalamualaikum, selamat tengah hari. Nama saya Muhammad Rafi Hamzah, boleh panggil saya Raf. Saya wakil pekerja temu seru daripada Kuala Lumpur Support Services Society, Klass. And before saya start, just nak berterima kasih.
Raf, sorry. Minta dekatkan sikit mic dengan your, yes.
Okay. So just nak ucapkan terima kasih dekat pihak MAC sebab sediakan platform untuk kami perkenalkan lagi diri kami kat potential clients kami untuk orang yang tak kenal tentang Klass sebelum ni. And today I just nak share dengan korang tentang apakah itu Klass, who are we, what we do and how you can contact us lah. So to start, boleh tolong share screen my presentation tu?
Kita mohon host untuk share screen kepada Raf.
So just for your information, Klass has been around for 20 years, genap 20 tahun ni, because we were established in 2001. And yeah, and sepanjang pandemik ni kerja kita orang agak terbatas and a lot of our work has been online, and I think this is a really good platform for us to to have more exposure to more clients as more people are on this platform as well.
Alright. Kita dah share screen ke, Fitri?
Sekejap ya.
Okay. Tak nampak muka Fitri, macam tak. Hari ni session kita santai-santai je tau.
Okay.
Alright. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So nak pergi ke second page ya? Latar belakang. Alright. So like I said just now, we were established in 2001 and we were established by the joint venture of medical professionals, especially Datuk Dr. Christopher Lee yang merupakan Presiden Majlis AIDS Malaysia sekarang, dengan sukarelawan sektor swasta, dengan aktivis from the PLHIV community lah. And since 2003, we have been a partner organisation of Majlis AIDS Malaysia. Kita di bawah naungan Majlis AIDS Malaysia. Then some of our fundings are Majlis AIDS Malaysia is the primary recipient, whereas we are the sub-recipient of the fundings. And since 2001 sampai sekarang, objektif kami masih sama, masih relevan, iaitu untuk to complement existing sexual health services in healthcare settings. So untuk melengkapkan perkhidmatan kesihatan seksual sedia ada dekat pusat-pusat kesihatan lah. Dan kita orang buat benda ni melalui pelbagai-bagai aktiviti yang saya akan share sekejap lagi. Dan seterusnya saya nak cerita pasal struktur organisasi Klass. Boleh tukar, okay. Yeah, next please. Alright. So kerja kami kebanyakannya macam kita guna online apps tau, macam Instagram, Twitter, dating apps like Grindr, Tinder, and banyak klien dekat apps ni tanya kita orang volunteer ke? But actually no, we are not volunteers. The outreach workers and the case workers at Klass, we are staff there. The volunteers are our bosses, our excos, our executive committees. And sekarang ni kami ada 8 orang ahli exco, dan presiden kami sekarang ialah Encik Mr. Andrew Tanzerto yang merupakan who is openly PL-HIV. He's one of the prominent figures in Malaysia, one of the veterans in HIV awareness in Malaysia, and he's done a lot of important work in promoting HIV awareness in Malaysia. And our vice president is Miss Susie, who has worked with MAC before, and she's active with many organizations, and she's one of the OG, one of the original Klass organizers. And next we have our honorary secretary, which is Mr. Shahrani, who has worked with MAC before, ICN, and he has special interest in MSM and TG work across Asia. And a lot of his input has been on sustainability and strategic data at Klass. Seterusnya, Mr. Ken Wu, who is our treasurer, and Mr. Ken has been working with Klass for quite a lot of years, and one of his main contribution towards Klass is getting fundings for Klass. So yeah, he's been very active in getting donors and maintaining the checks and balances of Klass finances. And next we have Mr. Rubin, who has worked with MAC before, and he's also Klass's earliest program manager. And right now, his contribution is mostly towards HR and programmatic compliance. Next, we're going to talk about Prof. Teh Yik Kun, who is a sociologist, and according to other experts, she's a great mother as well. And Prof. Teh has been a prominent advocate for equal opportunities for transgender women, and she did the first research on transgender in Malaysia as well. And then we have another EXCO member who is Miss Padmawati, who is an ex-nurse. Dia dulu jururawat masyarakat di ID klinik dekat Hospital Klang dengan Hospital Kajang. And dia antara nurse yang pioneer yang mendapatkan post basic training untuk dalam HIV lah. And she's a trained HIV counselor as well. And she has a lot of input on the healthcare side, as she has worked with the healthcare setting for quite a long time. And another of our EXCO is Miss Manis Chen, who is a HIV and Hep C activist. She's our HIV and Hep C mama. She's also an advocate for equal opportunities for transgender people. And she has worked in various organizations and fields. And she's also an important source of information for Hep C medications in Malaysia for Klass. All right. So yang tu our excos. So our excos diorang tak berbayar tau. Diorang ni adalah orang yang diorang volunteer untuk Klass. Yeah, and they have contributed a lot lah, and a lot of them have vast portfolios in HIV activism. So next, I'm going to move on to our staff. So we have 3 managerial staff, who is Mr. Azham, who is our program manager right now, Miss Punita and Miss Koki, who are in our finance and admin. And as I said just now, kita orang banyak aktiviti-aktiviti dan banyak program bawah kita orang. And antaranya ialah treatment adherence peer support. So kita orang ada peers, they are stationed in hospitals in Klang Valley, and namely Hospital Klang, Hospital Sungai Buloh dengan Hospital Kajang. Dan di Hospital Klang, peer kami adalah Mr. Fakri. Di Hospital Sungai Buloh, Mr. Jeffrey. Dan di Hospital Kajang, Miss Moon. We also have a shelter home, which is our Klass care center. And sorry. Yeah. And we have a caretaker and a cook who maintains the daily activities dekat Klass care center tu lah. Okay. Selain daripada itu, we have 5 case workers, and 2 of these case workers are actually under Pluho. So macam saya cakap tadi, Klass ialah sub-recipient kepada MAC, who is the principal recipient of our funding. And untuk program di HSKP kami, we receive the funding from Global Fund. And as we are the sub-recipient from MAC, we have a sub-recipient, which is Pluho under us. And kita orang ada dua case worker Pluho bawah kami, iaitu Miss Erin and Mr. Bat. So Miss Erin bertapak di Klinik Kesihatan Jinjang dan Klinik Kesihatan Sentul, whereas Mr. Bat takes care of Klinik Kesihatan Kelana Jaya. And the three case workers that are under Klass are Miss Leila Sari, Mr. Tarmizi, and Mr. Calvin Chan. So Miss Leila and Mr. Calvin are based in Klinik Kesihatan Ceras, but KKC dia banyak ramai klien. It's a big clinic, so we have two case workers there. And for Klinik Kesihatan Section 7 Shah Alam, we have Mr. Tarmizi. Right. And currently kita orang ada 14 outreach worker, 14 pekerja temu seru under kita orang. And korang boleh nampak muka-muka diorang dengan nama-nama diorang kat situ. Saya tak akan cerita satu-satu sekarang sebab nanti saya akan ceritakan tentang kawasan fokus diorang lah, their focus areas for their outreach work. So I'm going to move on to the next slide. So yeah, this is the core of our talk today. Ini yang paling penting sekali hari ini, which is what we do, what Klass do. And saya akan terangkan satu persatu. Yeah. Saya akan terangkan satu persatu chronologically lah, dari what is the first thing that we did and like what is the most recent thing that we're doing right now. And one of the earliest Klass ventures is Klass Care Center. Kita orang punya shelter home. Dan shelter home kami ni adalah sebuah rumah jagaan untuk lelaki-lelaki PL HIV. Biasanya mereka masuk selepas melalui fasa AIDS, bila virus HIV itu telah melemahkan sistem imun badan dan mereka sampai ke stage AIDS. Then trying to recover from that, not having social support or financial support, we accept this PL HIV man to our Klass Care Center. And Klass Care Center ni established in 1994 and sebelum ni dikenali sebagai Faith Helping Center. And waktu tahun 2001 baru dia ambil di bawah Klass. And tahun 2016 ditukar nama daripada Faith Helping Center kepada Klass Care Center lah. And over here we have two Klass staff who is a caretaker and a cook who would maintain the daily necessities of the residents in our shelter home. But pada masa yang sama, residen kat situ juga digalakkan untuk menjalankan aktiviti yang basic seharian lah, dekat rumah tersebut. And besides that, kebanyakan residen di Klass Care Center ni, diorang ada appointment dekat Hospital Sungai Buloh. So kita orang akan bantu juga diorang dari segi pengurusan appointment diorang dengan pengangkutan diorang untuk pergi ke temu janji susulan mereka lah. Dan buat masa ni dana untuk Klass Care Center disalurkan melalui Majlis AIDS Malaysia di bawah sumbangan KKM, Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia. Dan kita orang expect pemotongan dana yang agak banyaklah dijangkakan mulai daripada tahun ini. So we're still looking for more funding lah for our care center. So next slide. Alright. So the next one is treatment adherence peer support. So untuk treatment adherence peer support ni, benda ni dah lama dah ada sebenarnya. Dia dah sebuah inisiatif Klass. Sebelum Klass wujud lagi dekat HKL, Mr. Michael Chow, dia jadi volunteer untuk PLHIV patients dekat HKL. But then we adopted it in 2001 as Hospital Peer Support Program. Dan pada tahun 2016, KKM tengok projek ni bagus and dia adaptasi untuk menjadi Treatment Adherence Peer Support Program. So, and bila diadaptasi oleh KKM, program ni digunakan untuk hospital dekat satu Malaysia and NGO-NGO lain gunakan program yang sama jugalah. And sekarang ni kita ada 3 peers and 3 peers kami ditempatkan di 3 hospital kat Lembah Kelang, namely Hospital Sungai Buloh, Hospital Kelang dan Hospital Kajang. Masa cakap tadi lah, Mr. Jeffrey, Mr. Fakri and Kak Mun. Dan tugas utama peers ni, diorang akan bertapak di ID klinik, di klinik penyakit berjangkit di hospital-hospital berkenaan. And bila ada je klien yang baru didiagnose positif HIV, diorang akan bagi sokong bantulah dari segi sokongan mental dan emosi, sebab susah kan waktu baru diagnose untuk diorang terima kenyataan tu. So like for them to accept the reality, for them to continue living as a person living with HIV, we have our peers to support them emotionally. But besides that, peers kami juga akan membantu mereka dalam persediaan memulakan rawatan HIV lah, which is highly active antiretroviral therapy. Dan diorang akan bagi tahu sedikit dekat klien-klien yang baru ni, yang baru diagnose ni, tentang kesan sampingan, how disciplined they should be with their medication intake, how should they disclose their status, dan lain-lain lagi lah. And right now, the funding is provided by Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia. Next slide, please. Okay. So this is the biggest fund that we have gotten so far for right now, which is differentiated HIV services for key population. So program ni it started as another Klass initiative as well, which is Let Us Walk With You in 2014. So it ran from 2014 to 2019. And objektif awal program ni dimulakan adalah untuk establish contact dengan the MSM community through sexual health advocacy and sexual health screening for HIV and STIs. So a lot of it is done through social media and networking of our case management specialist at that time lah. Tapi waktu tahun 2019, pada Jun 2019, this program was adapted into DHSKP, and and Global Fund gives the funding to Malaysian AIDS Council to be given to NGOs in Malaysia which are working towards the key population. Yeah, for it to be distributed among us. And each of these NGO will have their own team of outreach workers and case workers. So at Klass, we have 14 outreach workers, and these outreach workers will connect with their client through apps such as dating apps and social media, and their own networks as well. So bila diorang berhubung dengan klien diorang ni, macam saya sendiri lah, saya akan buka, contohnya saya akan buka Tinder, saya akan swipe, match, and then I will tell them where I'm from and what I do lah. And setengah diorang akan tanya soalan-soalan pasal kesihatan seksual, mana boleh testing, and kalau dia nak kondom and lube, I akan bagi jugalah, and so does my colleagues as well. And besides that, we also have case workers that are stationed in klinik kesihatan, at health clinics, like I said just now, KK Ceras, KK Jinjang, KK Sentul, and KK Section 7 Shah Alam, and KK Kelana Jaya. So untuk klien-klien kami yang negatif, kita orang akan buat temu janji susulan lah. So untuk untuk testing yang seterusnya dalam masa 3 bulan, untuk restock kondom setiap bulan, dan kalau diorang ada apa-apa soalan tentang kesihatan seksual, kita orang boleh bantu tentang tu lah. Whereas kalau klien-klien kita orang positif testing STI dengan HIV tu, kita akan refer diorang ke case worker kami, kepada pekerja kes kami di klinik kesihatan untuk rawatan. And dekat pekerja kes kami dekat klinik tu juga akan bagi support jugalah kepada klien-klien yang positif ni, and diorang akan follow up klien-klien yang sudah positif ni dari segi rawatan, datang appointment, and bagi psychosocial support jugalah kepada klien-klien kami. So seterusnya. Alright. So this is a new venture that is done at Klass, which is community-based testing at Classroom. Sebab waktu sejak bulan 4 dan bulan 5 tahun lepas, we had we had a lot of struggles in reaching out to our clients because of the pandemic, right? we cannot travel, we cannot do our physical work much, and clinics banyak SOP untuk terima klien nak buat testing. Klinik terima klien yang emergency clients je. So to combat that, kita orang buat CBT, community based testing dekat office kita orang lah, with our own SOPs. So kita orang, so banyak demand untuk ujian saringan ni, so kita orang buat dekat office kita orang lah, di classroom. And kita orang buat setiap hari Isnin, Jumaat dengan Sabtu. And at Klass we have 4 outreach workers and 3 case workers. They are trained and certified by Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia to run this rapid test. It's a finger prick test. It takes a drop of blood from your fingertip, and the results will be available within 20 minutes. And kita orang punya rapid test kit ni disumbang oleh Jabatan Kesihatan Wilayah, and kita orang ada test kit untuk HIV, sifilis dengan hepatitis C. And buat masa ni kita orang tak ada funding untuk program ni, so kita orang just buat sendiri je. Only the test kits are funded by Jabatan Kesihatan Wilayah lah. But since Oktober 2020, pertengahan Oktober tu, sebab kes semakin meningkat kan, kita orang terpaksa berhentikan lah. So sampai sekarang the program is still on hold for now. Yeah, so dia akan disambung balik bila when COVID cases are better lah. Next please. Alright, so this is our latest venture, Hercules, which is a HIV integrated care unit for allied health services. So allied health kat sini, we are referring to mental health and nutritional health. So kesihatan mental dan nutrisi. And program ni it was a collaboration between volunteer counsellors. It was their idea, and dia orang akan pada hujung minggu, hari Sabtu macam tu, dia orang akan buat one-on-one counselling session with clients who have mental health or nutritional health issues lah. Yeah, and counselling ni kita orang bagi secara percuma sebab kaunselor-kaunselor yang datang ni adalah kaunselor-kaunselor sukarelawan. Yeah, and sebab utama program ni dimulakan ialah sebab time COVID kita nampak people's mental health are very affected. So there was an increased demand for this. So that's the main reason why we started this venture in December 2020. All right. So on to our next part, which is kawasan jajahan, kawasan focus area for each of our outreach workers. And yeah, kita orang pekerja-pekerja temu seru dekat Klass dibahagikan kepada 2 grup. Satu grup untuk Kuala Lumpur, satu grup untuk Selangor. Dan saya akan start dengan satu-satu outreach workers dekat KL ni lah. Okay. So first outreach worker is Hafiz. Next slide please. So untuk korang yang nampak, yang tengah to who's watching, if you're around this area and you would like our help, you can contact this outreach workers lah. And Twitter handle dia orang pun dah letak dekat situ, so you guys can screenshot. You people can screenshot these pages and contact our respective outreach workers lah. So I'm gonna sail through this. So Hafiz di Wangsa Maju, Jalan Ipoh dan Bukit Bintang. Next please. Faris kat Kepong, Kampandan dan Pudu. Next. Azman dekat Sentul, Brickfields and Taman Desa. Next please. Mizan dekat Ceras, Setiawangsa and Maluri. And Rafi di Bandar Tun Razak, KL Central dan Sungai Besi. Zack dekat Setapak, TTDI dengan Seri Petaling. And me myself dekat Taman Melawati, Pandan dengan Selayang. So, tadi ada someone tanya, kalau dia dekat Selangor tapi dia dekat KL, boleh ke contact outreach workers ni? We're not limiting ourselves to these areas. Boleh je contact any 14 of the outreach workers. Tapi ini just kawasan fokus diorang lah. Tapi diorang still boleh terima klien daripada kawasan-kawasan lain di Selangor ataupun KL. Seterusnya, the next slide, please. Okay, so yeah, now is the Selangor outreach workers. First slide, Faiz di Kelana Jaya, Seri Kembangan dan Gombak. Next slide, please. Zul dekat Shah Alam, Klang dan Kota Damansara. Kalau korang perasan, akan ada overlap sikit lah sebab a few of these areas are quite large kan. Yeah. So next please. Akmal dekat Shah Alam, Subang and Sunway. Dodi dekat Hulu Klang, Serdang and Puchong. And Sasi dekat Kelana Jaya, Ampang and Puchong. Bino dekat Petaling Jaya, Sunway and Puchong. Kai dekat Petaling Jaya, Ampang and Bukit Antarabangsa. Yeah. So hopefully so that was the list of our outreach workers. Macam tak ada apa sangat nak explain for each slides tu kan, just for you to know who to contact for which area lah. But you can still contact any of us if you need our help. Okay, next slide please. So now I'm gonna tell you how to contact us. So I'm gonna share with you our, okay, so itu ada list alamat kita orang, which is our office in Sentul Boulevard and Klass Care Center dekat Taman Mas Tiara. You can contact us through our office number and you can contact Klass Care Center through their number as well. Next please. And this is our socials. Our website is klass.org.my. Our Insta and Twitter are at myklass.org. Our Facebook is Kuala Lumpur Sport Services Society, and our YouTube is Klass Live. Our YouTube is pretty new as well, and we've just planned. We're still in the planning process to create our own content for this YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that. Next, please. All right. So now I'm going to talk about our main message at Klass, which is our vision and mission. And so our vision is to deliver service to end AIDS in Malaysia and beyond. So yeah, we want to end AIDS in Malaysia and beyond in accordance with UNAIDS punya 2030 goals as well. And yeah, so kita nak menyediakan perkhidmatan untuk menghapuskan AIDS di Malaysia dan di peringkat global. So like we said just now, our objective is to complement existing healthcare services at healthcare settings. And a lot of our programs macam TAPS, DHSKP and Klass Care Center and Hercules, a lot of these have to do with people who are affected by HIV or other STIs. And they are dekat healthcare settings dah ada rawatan dan pertolongan untuk klien-klien macam ni, tapi we are doing the para healthcare work. So we give support to our clients, we give knowledge to potential clients. Kita orang bagi diorang the tools to protect themselves from to protect themselves from HIV and STI, and as well as giving them support as well. So, and our mission is misi utama kami ialah untuk to stop HIV deaths, AIDS related deaths in Malaysia. And to achieve this, there's a lot of things that we need to do. So one of it is pertalian to kepada pusat kesihatan, which is linkage to care. And in linkage to care, so one of the things that we do in terms of linkage to care is our team of outreach workers connecting with the key population, mainly MSM, and connecting to them, letting them know that there is help, getting them tested, and in case they test positive, in case they need treatment, then we will refer them to our caseworkers who are stationed at the clinics lah. Yeah, so we do have that's one of the things that we did lah, that we are doing, which is linkage to care. And another one of our mission is is policy making, because a lot of there's not much policies that are protecting PLHIV rights and the key population rights. in Malaysia. So that's one of our missions as well, to to have policies that will be in our favor. And the next one is to increase the level of sexual health education among community members. But I think as you all know, the level of sexual health education in Malaysia is quite minimal. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in this matter. Even though we have been around for 20 years, the work is still as important, if not more, because we can see that right now about like 74% um, of people who are HIV positive in Malaysia are MSM. So the communities, the key population need a lot of need a lot of sexual health education in order to protect themselves. And another one of our mission is empowerment. So empowerment is empowerment of the community itself, to know their rights, to know what they need to do in order to protect themselves, as well as empowerment of PLHIV, because there's a lot of stigma and discrimination that is being directed towards our community, towards PLHIV. So empowerment is one of one of our important missions to be attained. Yeah. Next, please. Okay. So the next few slides. Okay. So the main gist of the presentation dah habis dah. Sekarang ni just nak to let you guys know how you can help us in terms of funding. So this is how you can contact us. You can email us at info@klass.org.my, or you can call us at the number provided on the screen. And next page, please. And kalau korang boleh screenshot this page if you're interested in donating to us. So there are different ways where you can fund us. You can fund us online, through checks, or through cash. So yeah, please screenshot this if you'd like to give some donation to Kuala Lumpur AIDS Support Services Society. Next, please. That's the end of it. Yeah. Thank you. That is all for me.
Okay, thank you so much, Ra, for that for a very cohesive and interesting explanation about what Klass is doing and everything. I jumpa few questions dekat live Facebook. I mean, one of the questions you dah cover tadi, yang duduk di Selangor boleh tak minta khidmat Klass kan? So the answer is yes. Boleh kan contact any outreach workers Klass yang you dah buat list tadi apa semua kan? Any of them boleh tolong. It's just that those areas are where they are more focused on. Betul?
Betul. Diorang akan fokus kerja diorang cari klien dekat area-area tersebut, tapi kalau ada klien yang kontak daripada tempat lain, kita orang takkan ignore lah, kita akan terima.
Tak ada masalah. Boleh contact. Okay. And satu lagi soalan kat sini dia tanya from Princess Kuti, untuk time PKP ni boleh just pergi walk in je ke? Privacy macam mana? I think she's referring to pergi ke kelas ataupun ke klinik. Either way, you can answer both ways lah. Okay.
So time PKP ni dekat klinik memang susah sikit lah sebab they have very strict SOPs, and usually they have a limited number of testings available, and you can still contact us for us to get in touch with the clinic to see if there are any slots for testing, but it's quite strict due to the SOP. So the clinics would mostly accept emergency cases. Tapi kalau dekat kelas sekarang ni kita orang tengah pause sekejap sebab since Oktober hari tu kita orang pause sekejap untuk kita orang punya community based testing tu. And in terms of privacy, okay, so we do not do anonymous testing. We will require the client's name and the client's IC number, but the data that we're going to send to our superiors, to MAC and to KKM, are encoded. So kita orang akan create a client code that will be unique to the client, but it's not traceable to the client. So the privacy will be maintained, but it's not anonymous.
That means at some point they have to disclose their name with the one with yang handle case diorang sahaja kan.
Exactly.
And any other people will not know whether you're doing the test or not, apa semua, betul?
Betul.
And yeah, as you said lah, it's still it's unique to each client, and the privacy is not being compromised.
Betul.
Betul. Okay.
Sebab setiap
Any more
test kit tu,
questions? Sorry? Go on.
setiap test kit tu adalah daripada kerajaan. So we need like we need to
I think
justify
it
why
goes
we're
back
using
to the data
test kit.
collection kan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because we want to know the number of HIV prevalence in Malaysia apa semua. So the number of people going to test, itu sebabnya memerlukan the client code lah. Bukan kita nak tahu personal information setiap orang pun, betul?
Betul. And kita pun by law we are supposed to protect our clients' data as well. So it will be it will be an error on our part if the information is released.
Correct. So privacy is the utmost important aspects in you guys punya cara kerja, gerak kerja everyday, betul?
Exactly.
Ada apa-apa lagi soalan from any other people dekat sini?
Hi,
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Azri daripada U Equals to You. Jadi
Azri.
ada soalan sikit, mungkin sebab kesian Raf dah bercakap banyak dah. Mungkin nak dengar juga pada outreach worker yang lain ataupun daripada program manager kelas sendiri. Apakah program yang dijalankan oleh kelas pada time PKP ni ataupun pada masa akan datang pada bulan Februari ke apa ke? Ada apa-apa update? Mungkin penonton kat luar sana boleh tahu.
So these questions goes to anyone from class yang nak jawab.
Okay, hi. Saya Dodi daripada kelas, one of the outreach worker lah, daripada kelas yang menjaga jajahan Selangor.
Ayo jajahan.
Jajahan. Okay, bukanlah jajahan, liputan di Selangor lah. So based on Azri punya question, we are actually memang banyak actually plan ideas untuk execute lah. Tapi kebanyakan terpaksa delay for a while sebabkan PKP, tapi itu tidak memberhentikan kami untuk execute the ideas and the plans and so on lah, such as support session group, YouTube channel pun is on the way, tengah in discussion and everything. So ada banyak ideas and event yang akan going on lah. And mostly the important things macam Dodi sendiri jaga social media my class. So we consistently akan update through social media lah, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Anything mungkin nampak sekarang macam very sepi, sendu, tapi kami rasa ada untuk menjawab soalan anda kalau anda reach to us in social media and so on lah. So tapi most of the time memang kita orang akan update if kita ada event ke, kita ada anything yang upcoming soon in the future lah. Saya harap itu dah boleh menjawab soalan Azri.
Okay, terjawab ke soalan tu?
Ya, terjawab.
Okay, terima kasih Dodi atas jawapan. And yes, I want to stress kelas memang ada social media diorang. Again, dekat Twitter memang actually tak adalah sepi. I can see selalu juga kelas update retweets, kita orang punya tweets apa semua. So it's good communication over there. Any more questions from korang yang lain-lain dekat sini? Ataupun ada message dari rakan-rakan kita dekat kelas? Pak Is ke, siapa ke?
Hai Acha.
Pak Is macam nak cakap je, I macam boleh rasa.
Okay, Pak Is just nak share something which is sebenarnya kelas ada beberapa aktiviti pada bulan Januari, tapi kita tangguhkan, tapi I bagi teaser sikit lah, which is kita ada filem tayangan short film yang dah menang banyak award tapi tak ditayangkan di Malaysia tapi ditayangkan di overseas sebab disebabkan itu adalah LGBT punya LGBT punya team. So dia tak dapat masuk tapi rakyat Malaysia yang buat and banyak dapat award. So itu salah satu teaser dan kita akan buat di rooftop at Klass. Okay, and one more thing adalah kita akan buat support group chemsex. Okay, sesiapa yang terlibat dengan chemsex kita akan ada buat support group untuk diorang and benda ni pun juga akan dibuat di rooftop at Klass. Itu hanyalah teaser sahaja. And satu lagi, siapa-siapa outreach worker kita sentiasa ada di any social media and korang boleh tengok as a Faiz akan sentiasa buat advocate through my video, through my poster. So korang boleh pergi dekat Faiz punya Twitter, Instagram, TikTok which is a Faiz Pangeran. So boleh Roger Faiz and DM Faiz. Thank you.
Dia ada pesanan penaja ya. Thank you Faiz. Okay, I jumpa satu lagi questions dekat Facebook. Dia tanya topik jangkitan seksual, ini I tuju kepada Rafla ya, as representative today. Topik jangkitan seksual sering menjadi tabu masyarakat apabila dibincangkan. Apakah inisiatif yang boleh diusahakan? Okay.
So soalan dia, topik jangkitan seksual ni tabu dalam masyarakat kita kan? Macam mana kita nak tackle masalah ni?
Yes.
So when we say it's a taboo, kita boleh anggap benda tu sebagai there's a stigma, there's a preconceived stigma among our population towards sexual infection. So bila orang dengar STI je, orang akan kaitkan dengan orang yang melakukan seks rambang, dengan community yang this marginalized community, macam men who have sex with men, transgender community, female sex workers. So disebabkan stigma yang berkaitan dengan community yang sering kena penyakit jangkit seksual ni, there is a taboo towards that. So one way to tackle this stigma is to educate the public. So that's why we have a lot of NGO in Malaysia that are working towards sex health education, and U equals to U is one of it as well. So U equals to U, the term U equals to U itself is saying that HIV doesn't kill. HIV cannot be transmitted if you already take the medication properly. So people need to understand more about sexual health, and dia tak semestinya kalau orang tu ada penyakit jangkitan seksual, orang tu orang jahat. So maybe our community has associated that together, so we need to educate them a lot more.
Yeah, basically the baseline is public health is different from religious views, ideas and belief, everything. So it's two different things. So now we're talking about sexual health, public health and stuff like that. So we have to separate that too. And a few more questions. Apa yang perlu saya buat jika saya didiagnose positif semasa saya buat CBT di kelas?
Okay.
What will happen if the result come out positive?
Alright. So kalau CBT dekat kelas, kita orang ada 3 stage. So kita orang ada pre-counselling, testing and post-counselling. So pre-counselling, kita orang akan tanya dekat klien tu pasal dia punya sexual health practices, macam mana amalan seks dia orang, and kita akan try to make the client ready in case dia positif, apa akan jadi kat dia. So kita akan try prepare them mentally first lah, and then dia akan dia akan ambil titik darah, dalam masa 20 minit kita dapat result. And kalau single line dia non-reactive, kalau double line reactive. So reaktif dengan positif lain. Kalau reaktif ni adalah untuk ujian saringan, positif adalah untuk ujian pengesahan. So ujian pengesahan kita buat dekat klinik lah. So kalau reaktif, kalau double line dekat ujian kita orang buat tu, kita akan refer kepada case worker kami, pekerja kes kami. So pekerja kes kami akan ambil alih, and di klinik, so diorang akan ada appointment dekat klinik tu. So diorang akan pergi dekat klinik yang selesa untuk mereka, sebab setengah klien diorang tak nak pergi klinik yang dekat dengan rumah diorang sebab diorang takut jumpa orang yang kenal kan.
Saya call daripada Skyworld.
So bila dah sampai ke klinik tu, bila sampai appointment tu, diorang akan ambil darah untuk buat confirmation test, and if positive, then doktor akan buat proses untuk memulakan rawatan. Yeah. So rawatan untuk HIV is very good right now. Makan ubat sekali sehari, and dalam masa 3 hingga 6 bulan, viral load, iaitu kandungan virus dalam darah boleh jadi kosong. And bila kandungan virus kosong, and virus tu tak akan melemahkan sistem imun badan diorang, and diorang boleh hidup dengan jangka hayat yang lama seperti orang lain, orang yang tak ada HIV. So it's not a death sentence. You can lead a long healthy life with HIV.
Yep. I mean, kita dah ada few contoh yang memang orang yang out and proud with HIV, our own advocates apa semua kan. So we know that it's working. The medication is actually working to give people yang ada HIV the same chances to live their life to the fullest, macam dengan orang yang tiada HIV juga. Betul kan? And ada one more questions yang I see dekat sini. Apa cabaran utama pekerja outreach semasa PKP? I mean dah daripada March last year sampai even sekarang ongoing, on off. So what are the biggest challenges that you guys are facing in outreach to clients?
Dia ada, honestly ada advantage dia sikit. Ada advantage sikit and banyak cabaran. I'm going to talk about the advantage. Tahu lah, mungkin orang bosan kot duduk rumah time PKP ni. So ramai orang online. So a lot of people will be texting us on social media, on dating apps. So klien potential tu ramai. Klien yang nak bercakap dengan kita tu ramai. Tapi bila nak jumpa tu, there are certain risks that are associated with it, and kita orang pun tak digalakkan sangat untuk buat physical work. So bila kita jumpa, kita akan meletakkan risiko kepada diri kita juga. So untuk menjaga diri kita orang juga, macam kita orang kena kurangkan lah physical work tu. So the challenges is that we haven't been able to test as many people as we used to. So sekarang testing kurang sikit, and nak jumpa klien bagi kondom pun kurang sikit, walaupun orang still, people still practice sex. So that is our main challenge lah. Not being able to physically meet our clients and pass them the necessary tools they need to have safe sex, and to get them tested so that they know their status and are safer in sex. So that is our main challenges. Besides the risk we impose to ourselves as well when we're doing this physical work.
All right, thank you, Raf. I think this kita go with the last questions before we end the session today. From Facebook Live, ada apa-apa inisiatif atau program khas untuk para defaulter yang berhenti ambil ubat HAI? I open this question to you or any other class staff yang ada kat sini lah to answer that.
That's a tough question, a good question as well.
Exactly. That's why I said I open it to all of you guys lah, kalau you guys want to give some input on that. Yeah. Kalau ada case yang client to default, berhenti ambil ubat, any initiative yang kelas will or could do?
Does anyone want to help me with this? I'm trying to think of an answer.
Yeah.
But okay, we're waiting for someone to answer. From what I know is that okay, memang default ni is a huge issue, kan? Sebab klien kalau dia orang stop makan ubat, they first of all bila dia orang stop makan ubat, viral load akan tinggi balik. Sistem imun dia orang akan semakin lemah. And that's one thing. So the virus is going to come back, their health might deteriorate. And another risk associated with defaulting is that the drugs might be resistant to the virus. Sorry, yeah. So the drugs will not work on the virus. Ubat tu tak load ke virus tu. So yang penting kat sini untuk diorang tahu, untuk klien tu tahu kalau dia default ialah they need to know these things. Sebab nanti bila dah default, kalau jadi resistant, they might have to go to second line treatment. So first line treatment percuma. Second line treatment kalau sebab diorang punya, sebab action diorang sendiri, diorang kena tanggung ubat tu, which can reach to more than 400-500. So sometimes even a K a month. So I guess like an important thing to do for them, for any NGO, not just Klass, is to really educate the client. Macam sebelum start pun kita kena make sure client tu tahu betul-betul. Kalau dia orang start, dia kena stick with it for life. Kalau dia orang stop, there's a lot of risk that they might incur if they stop. Anyone else want to give some input?
Yeah, I found some input dekat comment dekat Facebook. Encik Shah kita, you're on SAC. Honorary Treasury.
Secretary, betul lah.
Secretary. Encik Shah kita ada cakap contact us and talk to Hercules team because yeah, you might want to elaborate on that. Hercules.
Yeah. So Hercules, I cakap tadi, is our latest venture, and it has to do with mental health, mainly mental health and some with nutritional health as well. So our counselors might be able to have a one-on-one session with our PLHIV clients and try to help them figure out why they're stopping and how could they best manage the situation. So yeah, I think counselors will be really helpful in this matter.
Yeah, and also Miss Jacqueline Lee here also said caseworker will also be very helpful to provide support to defaulters. Right? So basically you guys are ready to help the community in any way we can, in any way you guys can. So just untuk community dekat luar sana, if ada apa-apa questions, ada issue and anything at all in regards to HIV and AIDS and also sexual health, boleh contact Klass macam yang Raf cakap tadi. So yeah, I think that's all for today, our session. Thank you so much, Raf, and everyone else who are tuning in with us today. Thank you again, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow at the same time with satu lagi Ahli Gabungan Malaysian AIDS Council. Nantikan pengumuman dekat social media kita orang, siapakah ahli gabungan tersebut, ya, untuk pada masa yang sama pada hari esok. Thank you, Raf. Thank you, everyone. Thanks.
Thanks a lot
Bye.
for having us. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Raf.
Thank you.